Hello everyone, this is a very candid video. I was just at a Super Bowl party that my friends were putting on because I don't care about the Super Bowl, but my friends cajoled me into coming, so I was there. And I didn't care about any of it, obviously, but then I saw the trailer for the new Lord of the Rings series, which comes out this September, and I was like, that I care about. And so obviously you guys won't be able to see my reaction to it the first time because I watched it there and no one was recording, I think. And then I came home to my sister. And I told her, yes, this is Marjorie in case you don't know. And I told her, I just saw a trailer for the new Lord of the Rings series that's coming out, you have to watch it. So she watched it, and it wasn't until after that that I was like, oh hey, I should do that thing that YouTubers do where they like watch trailers and react. So you won't get to see our first reactions, or even my second reaction, but you can see my third reaction and her second reaction, because we're going to watch the trailer again, and then we're going to talk about it, because I think...
Dude.
Then we're gonna watch the trailer again, and we're gonna talk about it because I think we both have a lot of thoughts and feelings about how this is gonna go. So, you ready?
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. I wonder how loud this is gonna be.
Haven't you ever wondered what else is out there? There's wonders in this world beyond our wandering.
What's on her head? I don't know. Like, is she...
That looked like a video game.
Yeah, I know. I'm so severe. That gives me anxiety. That seems unreal.
Well, yeah. I wonder if that's supposed to be like the meteor that, wait, never mind. So, you can probably see that our first reaction, we are not those people that post reaction videos on YouTube and they're like, oh, you know, screaming at every single shot and every swell of music. Because I have had immense misgivings ever since this show was first announced back in a while ago.
Like 3 years or how long
Honestly,
it's
it's
been.
been a really long time. Because just, I love the Lord of the Rings movies. I've stated this in other videos. I absolutely love them. I think they're like masterpieces. I think they're the best we could have gotten from books this hard to adapt. They're the best we could have gotten. They're not perfect by any means. I have plenty of issues with them. We'll probably make videos talking about our issues with them, and also the things that we love, because I don't want you guys to think that I'm just complaining about them constantly. But it's like, you know, sometimes the things you love are the things that you're most critical of, and sometimes the things you love are stuff where you're like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with this. So it's a 50-50, it's a toss-up. Please stop yawning.
I'm trying.
But yeah, I love the Lord of the Rings movies, but the Hobbit movies, don't love those. Never finished watching them because they were so bad that I could not bear to make it through them.
Why would you waste
you
that much time?
You watched more of them than I did.
I watched the first two, and
Yes.
then I was like, I will not spend money on the third one. And on top of that, I won't waste 3.5 hours of my life on that.
Yeah, I know. They were playing it at work. The other day I was like, oh my gosh, is this actually what I think it is? Yeah.
Make me cry.
But yeah, because of that, because of the last thing that happened, with an adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's work, I do not have a lot of confidence in this show. Especially since apparently it's not even adapting anything directly. This is not the Silmarillion. This is not the Children of Húrin, Baron Luthien, The Fall of Gondolin.
Guys, be nice. Hey, leave her alone. Dude, stop it.
Oh my gosh, our cats are. This video is so chaotic. Yeah, this is not a straight adaptation. This is just, in this show, they have the rights to the book The Lord of the Rings. They do not have the rights to any of that stuff that I just listed, so they will not be making it. So this is going to be stuff I think drawn from just the appendices, because they have the rights to those. And I think essentially what they're doing is taking mainly just the setting of
Say hi. Say hi to all the fans.
Okay. I think they're taking just the setting of like Second and Third Age Middle Earth and just telling their own story within that, which that's not a bad thing necessarily, but it just makes me feel like this is just billion-dollar fan fiction set in Middle Earth. And maybe it'll be good. I don't know. I have a lot of misgivings, but I really want to give the show a fair chance. I really do, because I could be completely wrong, and I can watch it and I could be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I don't think
is
so.
what the history of Middle Earth was missing.
This is I'm gonna pick up this book right here, and I'm gonna be like, this was unworthy.
Ouch.
Anyway, but yes, the trailer. That's what we're here to talk about today, because we're finally getting a little. Well, I don't know if we're getting any information really, because that didn't really tell us anything. But it's
I
giving.
don't know who anyone's name is. I don't like from the trailer. I don't know where they are.
Yeah.
I don't know what their objective is.
Yeah.
Like, are rings important?
I don't know.
Because the name of it was like
The Rings of Power. Yes, the title of the.
Which makes
also
you think.
The official title of the show is The Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power.
that rings are important. But
Is it like
I
so,
didn't see any rings. Hey,
Something they
hey,
could
dude.
do in this show, which could be interesting, is if they adapted the actual story of the forging of the Great Rings, which is an interesting story as it involves like Sauron and Celebrimbor, and I guess I don't know if this is in the appendices or if it's in Unfinished Tales, because if it's in Unfinished Tales, they won't be able to do this. But Celebrimbor's body gets put on a spear, and Sauron carries it into battle. Fun stuff.
That's what everyone's been wanting.
Oh yeah. You ever played Shadow of Mordor?
Is it a video game?
Yeah.
About
It's a couple video games.
Lord of the Rings.
It's very loosely based off of Middle Earth, and I think Celebrimbor is like the only character in it, and also Sauron, I guess. Question mark. But I don't. Celebrimbor's like a ghost who like is in a man's body or something, and he's like salty because Sauron killed him. I don't know. We're not here to talk about Shadow of Mordor. Anyway. Yes, the trailer. Just what are your initial thoughts from the trailer? Let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah, before we started this video, I was talking about the aesthetic of the
vibe the trailer gives off.
yeah, like that feeling, and I think that it just feels different than the Lord of the Rings movies, and I think a little bit of it feels like The Hobbit, which makes me super skeptical because I hate The Hobbit. With
She
passion.
really hates The Hobbit.
It like there's no what's the word?
There's no words to describe how much you hate The Hobbit.
True, but that's not what I was going
There's no
for.
limit on your hatred.
There's I give it no
credit for anything. No grace. No nothing. No slack.
I don't know. If there's anything good in it, I won't accept it. Put it that way.
I don't acknowledge any good.
I criticize everything, and even if it's the smallest little detail that nobody should care about, I'm just like, their hoods were not the right colors. They didn't even have hoods, like that's an issue.
It's a massive issue.
Because they did too many wrong things. Like I won't forgive them for anything. That's what I was going for.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, so it feels more like The Hobbit than it does the Lord of the Rings movies, which automatically makes me skeptical. And then like the part with the big beast or whatever really felt like the Hobbit to me.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. It's like the CGI isn't that great. I mean,
Yeah.
admittedly, Lord of the Rings CGI is pretty iffy because it was made right at the turn of the century.
Yeah. That's like crazy.
But I think that they use so many more like props
Practical
than
effects.
they did
Yeah.
like CGI, which I think gave it a lot of.
It makes it age better. In some
Yeah,
ways, there's
like
some parts
it-
of it that have aged very poorly.
But like the props part, like all the orcs, I still see them as real.
Yeah,
Like,
because
they are real
Actors
in makeup, and so they look real.
Mm-hmm.
Not CGI orcs like The Hobbit. which they shouldn't even be there, but whatever. And so, like, that just makes me skeptical. That one part, yeah, it looks like a video game.
Yeah. I like saw that when I was watching at the Super Bowl party. I was watching it, I was like, oh, is this what I think it is? Because the stuff that was popping up or whatever. And then I saw that one shot and I was like, wait, is this advertising a video game or an animated series? Because that just, that
It looks so fake.
So when I thought during the halftime show, I was like, yo, are those people real? It looked weird.
How are you a real person? Yeah, so there's like that. So the aesthetic of it.
Do you
but
like the colors? Do you think the aesthetic is bad?
not necessarily bad. I think, Pippin, if you get in the camera. Dude. Not necessarily bad.
Do you think you could enjoy it if the rest of the show was good?
Possibly. Like the first opening scene or whatever,
yeah.
I think that was good.
Yeah.
I like that aesthetic. That made me think more Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It was very pretty. Very pretty.
Yeah.
But then other parts, it looked more like a video game or just more like CGI or green screen or something. I don't know. It just looked more fake or like, Pippin, could you please?
Okay, so Pippin knocked our camera over.
Fool of a took.
But picking up where we left off,
I think that it could be good, and I do
Yeah.
like some parts. Some parts, I think it makes me more skeptical than anything. Some parts I just don't like. Like when it looks like a video game, I don't think that has any place in Lord of the Rings.
yeah.
But other parts, like, I'm just skeptical because it looks like The Hobbit, and I hate The Hobbit. So it's like, is this going to be any good if it's taking after The Hobbit? But then other parts are very pretty, and I think that was nice.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I
I think
don't know.
that's sort of how I am too. I think the aesthetic, a part of me wonders how just biased I am, because this is something we talked about a little bit before, because it's not the exact same as the movies, and we shouldn't be expecting that necessarily, because I don't think anyone from the movies is involved in this. I think this is entirely its own separate thing. So I think to some degree they're probably going to try and resemble the movies for the sake of marketability, because people want it to look like the Lord of the Rings. So they're going to go for that a little bit, but also they're probably going to want to, try
Take
their own thing,
yeah.
which is completely understandable.
I mean, if they're going for Numenor too, then like,
Yeah.
it makes sense that it would look different.
Is it Numenor?
Because if they're doing Numenor, I don't know.
They have the rights to Numenor, because if they just have the rights to like the appendices, essentially, is Numenor in the appendices? I don't think
I
it
think
is.
so.
Is it?
I think so.
I mean, Akalabeth isn't in there. The Fall of Numenor.
but I think it has like the kings of Numenor in there.
Go get your
Because
copy of the Return of the King so we can
probably,
check.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm back. I got our copy of the Return of the King right here. We're
My
gonna look.
copy.
Yes, her copy. Homegirl's poor, can't afford her own copy.
There you go.
I just have whatever anyway.
This is when you need the whole music.
Mark Duran's folk. Think they're gonna do stuff with that. Duran's folk
in
the story of the
Yeah, when they showed the dwarf, they looked just like all the dwarves from The Hobbit. I was like, I hate their hair. It's just wrong, okay?
What's wrong with it?
Gimli is perfect. Okay? His hair is how a dwarf's hair should look.
Now,
These
are
other
you saying
weird
that-
piercings, that's wrong.
Now, are you saying that because you've seen the movies and that's like informed how you think a dwarf should look, or do you genuinely?
No, I think from descriptions in the book,
Okay.
a dwarf, like dwarves should have long, maybe braided beards,
Mm-hmm.
but not like insanely long where it circles their entire
Or
body.
they have like a mustache.
Or the mustache. Like that's just it takes
I
away
think-
the realism.
Yeah, I think there's a certain level of whimsy with that is not always that is present in some parts of Tolkien's work, but not present in others. Because I think stuff like Tom Bombadil is very whimsical and like silly. And stuff like the mood of the Hobbit, which is whimsical, but the mood of the Lord of the Rings, which is much more down to earth and realistic, which doesn't really leave room for like silly styled beards.
Okay, so you have this little bit of like from here. That's okay, you don't need to read it. To this page, and then that half, and that is the second age.
All
You have pages
for the second age.
for the second age.
Yeah, I'm curious about. I guess they can only use what's in here. They're not allowed to use anything that's in like Unfinished Tales or anything, or like the Silmarillion, I think, because they don't have the rights to it.
They might be able to reference,
Maybe, I don't know.
because like, well, I don't know what's all in the appendices, and I guess in the books, like they reference Beren and Luthien in the movies.
Yeah.
But I think that might have been in the books. I don't really remember the exact like.
Oh yeah, it's Aragorn. He sings the whole
Yeah,
song.
he does sing the whole song, so I guess that's how. I have
Also,
rights
by
to
the
that.
way, if you want to hear some really cool covers of songs from the Lord of the Rings books, look up Clamavi de Profundis. There was a petition for them to do the music for this show. Pretty sure it came to nothing, but it was a cool idea, and they make amazing music, and you should look them up. I'll put a link in the description.
That's cool.
But yeah, so that's what they have to work with. At least talking about the second age, if we're going to do Numenor. The third age, there's a little bit more there to talk about basically everything from Isildur on to when the Lord of the Rings starts. So,
And see, the thing is, with the second age, there isn't a whole lot like written down anywhere about it.
Yeah.
So like, if they're going to take an age to just make their own, the second age is the one to do it with, and you have like this little bit of information to like go off of.
Yeah.
But yeah, still skeptical of it, mostly because of The Hobbit and how terrible they did with that, and disappointed me immensely.
Yeah, so yeah, back to the trailer though, to kind of talk about that. Like, I think aesthetically speaking, maybe not initially what I would go for, because what I was going to say before is like it's different from the movies, and my bias is going to be towards the movies because I did watch those before I read the books, so I think it very much informed my image of Middle Earth. Something we were talking about before, I don't know this for sure. I would like someone to correct me or confirm me if they know. If Alan Lee, the concept artist for the movies, I think he's like the official concept artist. I'm going to understand why we're laughing.
I know him.
Yeah. If you watched my behind the scenes of the Silmarillion Bridge video, you'll get what I'm laughing about. But only 8 people watched that video, apparently. Anyway, whatever. Alan Lee, he was the concept artist for the movies, and I think he's like the official Tolkien concept artist, because if you look at books, whoops, like these, he illustrated them. Very pretty, and very much the aesthetic of the movie. So, and these are books that like Christopher Tolkien put together, so I think he's like Christopher Tolkien approved. However, don't think he's involved with this series in any way. But the point of like bringing him up is that I think the movies very much kind of nail what the aesthetic of Middle Earth is supposedly supposed to be, whatever Tolkien's vision was, at least close to that.
As close as we'll get.
Yeah.
Since Tolkien was a writer, not an artist.
Yeah, I think he did draw some.
Never mind.
Stuff. But obviously he didn't illustrate his own books. Never mind.
I'm an idiot.
No, daily affirmation.
I'm beautiful all the time.
You are beautiful all the time, and you're vastly intelligent.
I'm so smart.
You're so smart.
Too real for you too.
Too real for you too. I mean, all these jokes people are gonna understand.
I know.
Just leave all of this in here. I'm not editing this at all.
Just everything unedited.
Everything completely
Beautiful.
unedited. Yes. That I think the movies very much have kind of Tolkien's vision of what Middle Earth is like. So this what we've seen in this trailer is similar to that, but it's not quite the
It
same.
veers a little bit towards The Hobbit, which
Yeah.
The
And
Hobbit's
a
just not, like they tried, but they failed.
The way I kind of felt about it was that it kind of looked like just any other fantasy action show that you'll see these days. It didn't feel recognizably Middle Earth to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it may not be an issue. Maybe I'll watch on this, but wow, the show is so pretty. I love it. We were talking about the CGI earlier. I feel like the show is supposed to be costing $1 billion. It's supposed to be like the most expensive TV show, and from what little we've seen, I don't know what the $1 billion is going to. I don't know how filmmaking works. I can't make judgments.
Maybe they haven't like completed all the CGI yet,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
the trailer just doesn't look as good as the show's actually
Yeah,
look.
yeah. Who knows? You know, we're not, and like, you know, ripping stuff over bad CGI is so like low-hanging fruit as far as criticism goes.
Yeah.
In the end, that's not what I'm going to care about the most. If it's distracting, then
That's an issue,
that
but
would be the issue.
otherwise,
But
yeah.
and if it's like consistent at least, then it probably isn't gonna
That's
bug me that
better.
much. What I care way more about is the story and the characters, and just how it communicates the whole just spirit of Middle Earth. Because
If they're
Just-
going for the fall of Numenor, like if that is their plot, then
I don't
like,
know. That's
there
their
is
plot.
something to go off of. If it's a completely different plot that isn't related to anything like in the books
Mhm.
at all,
yeah,
then it's like, yeah, just fan fiction.
yeah, which
Set in Lord of the Rings, which isn't necessarily bad. It's just like when I don't know. I feel like with a world like Middle Earth, where there's so like Tolkien spent almost his entire life writing this
Mhm.
history of an entire world
yeah.
that like was all in his head. And that's a very special thing that I don't think anyone else has ever been able to do. Like to write an almost entire history of another world
Yeah, yeah.
is like, even with Narnia, like there's 7 books that make it up, and there's a lot of gaps in the history.
Yeah.
Not to say the Lord of the Rings and Middle Earth like doesn't have some gaps, but like the majority of it, like you get a year by year, like this is the big things that happened in Middle Earth.
Yeah.
And so to take such a massive story arc of an entire world that one man created and then insert your own stuff into it just seems very bold. Like extremely bold.
And it just seems
That
like
like
you're gonna have
my stuff should be put into this man's creation, and it's
Yeah.
not just like, yeah, if it was Narnia and you wanted to create a story from the thousands of years that the Pumpseeds were gone outside of the horse and his boy, like that would be one thing.
Mhm.
But this is already so massive that it's like, especially if it's supposed to be like an important story with kings
Yeah.
and not just like peasants that lived in, you know, some other, like it's gonna be a massive story,
Oh,
whatever
yes,
it is,
yes.
because otherwise there's no driving point.
Yeah.
So to insert that into a world of
Mhm.
one man's creation, that is a massive creation. Just
Yeah.
it's very bold.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to be done very well, and you need to do a lot of justice to the work that has already been put in for it to like be, you know, liked, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't like mean to be possessive and gatekeepy about this. It's like I tend to be this way because I love Middle Earth so much. It has just such a special place in my heart. I think it's impacted me so much as a writer myself. And so it's one of those things where like I really want to give the show a fair chance, and I'm really scared that I won't because of the way that I am. But I really want to try. But yeah, I guess, how did you feel about the action that we saw in the trailer? The little bits of action that we saw. We saw some lady hanging off the side of a cliff.
Is that a
and-
lady?
I think it was a lady. I thought it was a lady.
I don't know, I think I thought it was a dude.
It wasn't a girl.
I don't know.
We saw that. That was the part that looks like a video game. I think that was a lady. Comment below, was it a lady? Dude.
I need to rewatch it now. I'm questioning my memory.
I'll show you the one part. I think it's.
Yeah, right there.
That's,
Yeah, that
that's,
could be a female.
that's totally a lady.
I don't know.
Yeah, we got a lady hanging off the side of a cliff. We got some dude on a raft. We got
That gave me anxiety.
a guy catching an arrow and
That was just
shooting it. We've got a dude and we got horses running. We got a big scary monster. We got a dude in with
I
an
don't
army.
think any of the action made me think like, or like.
Well, I think the thing is, I have no idea. The problem is, I have no idea what the story of the show is at all.
Well, yeah.
I don't know who the bad guy is. I don't know what the conflict is. We know nothing.
I don't think you need that for action to like grab your attention though.
No, but we didn't really see them. When you're distracted.
Going gray.
Gray before your time. It's okay.
For sure.
Baron went gray before his time.
Really? How young?
I don't know how to
Okay,
was.
I'll just leave it.
She was an elf. That doesn't count. Baron went through the valley of terror with the spiders, and he came out with gray hair.
I'd be lucky if I just came out with gray hair and not a ton of immense emotional trauma.
If you came out alive. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
yeah, like the action was obviously, it was very brief. It was just like a couple seconds here and there, so we didn't really get to
I think that it was like, I don't know, like sometimes you can watch things with action and you're just like on the edge of your seat, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what this is, I don't know who that is, I don't even know if I should feel for them, but like, whoa.
It was like me when I saw the Shang-Chi trailer. I was like, dang it, Marvel sucks. I wasn't gonna watch this movie.
But I don't think that, like, I don't think there was any really intense action in the trailer. Like, I was just like, oh. And maybe part of that was, like you said, it's just like any other fantasy action movie around nowadays, so it was just like, I've seen this all before.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't,
it didn't feel new, it didn't feel exciting. Like, the action parts did not feel new or exciting to me.
To me, it kind of, like, when the guy, like, catches the arrow and then, like...
That was slow motion.
It was. I was saying, it gave me a, kind of a Marvel feeling. It gave me a feeling more like a superhero or something, which I don't know if I want that here.
Yeah.
Because that's great. I love me some superhero movies, and it's great in the superhero movies, but Middle-earth is not a world of superheroes. There's stuff in it that's super heroic, you could say, and like obviously they do mighty deeds of combat and valor and battle, but
They don't
not
really
like
have any
that.
superpowers.
Yeah, no.
Per se, like
It's just-
there are powerful people. Like,
Yeah,
Sauron is very powerful, but he's not like,
he doesn't like
he
shoot
can't
lasers.
do things outside of like maybe being extra strong because he's the Maiar, you know? Maya.
It's a singular.
He is one of the Maiar.
Yes.
Maiar. Maiar.
Okay.
Since he's not just a man.
Mhm.
And I mean, elves can live long, so like that's kind of supernatural.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like they battle with the strength.
Eyelash.
Oh my gosh, my hair. So there's nothing supernatural about like how like they all have the strength of a regular man, not even like a man in peak physical condition.
I don't know. Yeah.
So
It's
it's kind of like, I mean, nobody has extra super fast reflexes, like, you know, to
No,
be
I
able to
don't.
catch a arrow that somebody else shot. You know how fast arrows go?
Really, really fast.
Really fast.
Yeah, and also like, who is that guy supposed to be? I don't know. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I don't know who he is. Who's the chick with the stuff on her head?
What is the stuff on her?
I don't know. Who are the dudes with the antler packs?
Yeah.
What? I don't. There's a part with like a meteor or something. And
I thought it was a fiery arrow.
That would, I thought it was a meteor. Wait, wasn't something forged from a meteor in these stories with Anduril? Forged.
I don't know. I have no recollection of that.
Or Narsil, I should say, which was originally. I could be getting this confused with Mjolnir or something. I'm a really great Tolkien fan.
It's been a while since we've read the book.
Yeah, we need to read them again.
Yeah.
It just. I feel like we have to like go through the trailer and like through the frame by frame breakdown. I'm just gonna look at it.
Okay. Mute.
Yeah. So we have this thing right here. This looks like it could potentially be Numenor, maybe? Or
I think this feels like Middle Earth.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I like this.
I'm not sure who that's supposed to be.
I don't know. They got a big sword.
Yeah, he got a big sword. And then we have these dudes with their antler packs. No idea who they're supposed to be. We have.
What is on her head?
I don't know. Is she supposed to be a hobbit or something? The hobbits also like aren't in the appendices at all. I mean, they can include stuff with the hobbits because they have the rights to the Lord of the Rings, which has history of the hobbits in it. So if they want to delve into that, they can.
If they bring the hobbits into another story, that's just weird to me. Like, this should be... I think this should be a man's story.
Yeah.
It should be men.
And then we have the lady hanging off the side of the cliff.
That gives me anxiety.
I wonder who that's supposed to be.
I don't know. It made so like the riverboat raft thingy made me think of when they're like the words are so hard. When the Numenorians like tried to go to Valinor. And they all like get shipwrecked.
Yeah.
Or like when the what's his name?
Which one's his name?
Elendil and
Ellen?
no, not Elendil.
Arendelle?
Yes. And his sons.
Wait,
go.
oh, that is Elendil. Okay, are you talking about the king of Gondor? Or Arnor, excuse me?
Yes.
Okay, that's Elendil. Arendelle is...
Who did I say first?
You said Elendil, but I got confused.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the man.
Elendil with the sons
That
of Sildor
starts-
and Anarion.
Yes, that starts the kingdoms of Middle Earth. He like his ships.
Yes,
go,
they got, yeah.
and they get shipwrecked.
Yes.
So like that's what it made me think of.
It made
Not
me
to
think
say
of
that that's
Voronway,
it.
but he's probably not in this. So, Voronway was the last elf that Turgon sent to try and get help from Valinor. He was shipwrecked. He found two
For
were-
Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, I know. It's not. Yeah,
That's not it.
Silmarillion
But like
stuff.
mine
it's
too,
not
I
gonna be
think
in
it
there.
could.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that
yeah.
could be it.
That's
if this is of the Middle Age or the
Middle Age.
the Middle Age.
I suppose
Of
the
Middle
second
Age
age
people.
the Middle Age.
I mean, there's a fourth age, so maybe not.
Okay. Yeah.
if it stopped at the third age, I'd say yeah.
Well, I mean, the stories stop at the third age.
True, but there is a fourth age.
Well,
Anyways, second age, if it's about like Numenor and the fall of Numenor, if that's what it's
If
about,
that's what it's
this
about.
would make sense
Yes.
that they get shipwrecked. Or
Yeah.
if it's about Elendil and
Yeah.
his sons, like ultimately
Yeah, ending up
taking
in-
him, like which I think that could be really cool if that's what they're going for.
Mhm.
Like it's a story that has a little bit more to it than
Mhm,
most
yeah.
of the stuff from the second age.
Yeah.
It's very compelling. It really does lead up to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So I think that you could make something really good out of that. So that could be this, but I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just know it gives me anxiety.
Yeah, this part where the dude catches the arrow, if you look closely, his eyes look kind of funky. I'm wondering if he's supposed to be
Maybe.
blind or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I just don't know. I don't know who he would be. It's just a thought that I had. Yeah, I thought that was like a meteor.
I thought it was the arrow.
Oh.
Because look, he
Yeah.
like shoots,
Yeah, but
and then
that I think
it shows it.
Yeah, but it's a completely different time of day.
It could still be.
I don't.
Okay.
I thought it was like a shooting star or something.
Oh, maybe.
Because I swear there's something that is forged from like a fallen star. I swear. We also have this guy.
Who looks like an elf.
Yeah,
They've got the pointy ears.
Yeah, is this supposed to be Elrond or something maybe?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Just because he's not Hugo Weaving.
Yes.
What if it's Gilgalad? That'd be cool if Gilgalad was in this. I like to see Gilgalad getting some
He
love.
cool, dude.
He's got a cool song. See, there's with the. You think this is Rohan maybe?
No.
Never mind. Is that the same lady who was on the?
No, that is a man.
That's a dude.
That
Never
is a
mind.
man.
Never mind. And
But he's got a similar headdress going on.
Yeah, and then we have this monster thing. Is that a troll or something?
No, it doesn't look like a troll because he has horns. Okay, maybe he doesn't have. Yeah, he has like
Tusks.
Yeah, that's it. And like weird. What's with this? Okay, so he has them going out, and then he got little ears and a beard. That's pretty-
Lothlorien? Question mark? Probably
I
not.
don't think so.
I wonder who that's supposed to be.
I don't know. The dwarf just like. If you're going for a serious field, just don't do this. Like that, I can't take that seriously. I can't.
Yeah, I know they like. Does Tolkien ever say the dwarves have big noses?
I don't think so.
I don't know if you did.
I don't know. I don't mind the big nose necessarily.
Like,
Like, that
sure.
just looks really big. Like, Gimli's nose, I know they did prosthetics on
Yeah,
his
yeah.
face. And they did make his nose bigger, but I don't think it was, like, that obvious on his face. Like, I think that John Rhys Davies, he's just a big guy.
Yeah.
So giving him a big nose doesn't look weird.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I don't know. But, like, the hair and the beard and everything, it doesn't work.
He looks
for me
like
at
a
all.
sad boy. There be tears in his eyes. I wonder who that is.
Yeah, I don't know. His hair looks so modern.
Are his ears pointy?
Yes.
As an elf?
That's
Who
weird.
could
to
it
me.
be?
He looks so young to be an elf.
Well,
All I'm saying is usually elves are like, you know,
I wonder who that's.
they're ageless.
That's just my question. I see what you're like,
Who are all
oh,
these
where's
people?
this person? I don't know who these people are. That an elf.
I guess that's why they put her hair back.
Yeah, I feel like this is it's supposed to be some like dramatic reveal we're gonna get where this chick, she's on a boat with some person and he's like,
You're
"You're an elf." Which also, by the way, did Tolkien ever say elves with pointy ears? I don't think so.
No, he never did. Also, if that was a reveal, you just spoiled it. Just saying.
Nice. Then we've got lava and fire.
You got.
Uh,
I don't know what that.
I should slow this down.
You should.
This is gonna be really awkward in editing. I have no idea what I'm going to edit this.
Just put up one frame of whatever it is.
Yeah, like a little freeze frame. Okay. We have these naked dudes.
That makes me so uncomfortable.
I have no idea who they are or what's happening.
It's just fire all around them.
Dragons? Question mark. These look like dwarves.
Yes.
Dude is breaking open the meteor we saw earlier. And no,
He's chained.
He's chained. And like, what is this? Those are orcs, I guess.
Okay, so there's a battle.
I don't recognize this. Wait, no, I don't. And then we have this very poignant tiny hand holding a big hand. No idea who these
So is it
hands
supposed to
belong
be a girl and a grown man, like a young girl and a grown man, or is it a giant and
A little person. There are no giants in the world.
Yeah, that's why. When I first watched it, I was like, what?
Is it like a baby?
But I could see it being like a young girl and a grown man with
Yeah.
big hands.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So yeah,
Not necessarily bad or anything.
I'm
but
just
skeptical and a lot of questions of what, like, it doesn't tell you anything about.
yeah. I mean, it's a teaser trailer.
Which,
They're just
yeah.
trying to get hype, which like
I don't think it did that.
I feel like there are so many people who are gonna watch this, and listen. I don't want to be that person to say they're fake fans, but there are gonna be so many people
Fake?
who watch this and just like, oh yeah, Lord of the Rings, and I hate to be that person. But like I said, these books are really important to me. I care a lot about them doing them correctly. I don't have a lot of confidence that they're doing this for the sake of telling a good story.
Which is
because-
also just like putting aside the books. If you're doing something only for money and not for a good story or the
Yeah.
enjoyment of your audience,
Yeah.
then that's just lame in and of itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's original content. Like, if all you're doing is to make money, then
Yeah.
just stop.
Just stop. And I guess we could talk about the diversity, but personally I don't care. Because if the show is really good, if all of my skepticism is completely unfounded and the show is really good, I do not care that there are actors of color in it. If it's good, then that's fine. I don't think that is what's important about Tolkien stories. Everybody's white in those stories because it's supposed to be a mythology for England where white people live. So he was definitely not trying to be intentionally racist.
It's just why would like blacks be?
Yeah, if
in
I was
England?
writing Kenyan mythology, it'd be absolutely stupid to have white people in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the racial diversity, I really don't care as long as they are telling good stories and doing justice to the world and the spirit of Tolkien's fantasy. then that is completely fine. The music was not.
I don't remember the music.
It sounded kind of like general trailer music, which is fine, I guess. I have no idea who's doing the music for this. Not Clamavi de Profundis, unfortunately. Probably not Howard Shore either. He composed the film scores, basically.
I think.
Yeah, and arguably one of the greatest, not even arguably, definitely one of the greatest movie soundtracks. Arguably the greatest.
I don't know a lot about it.
No, but
it's amazing. I would listen to it when I did schoolwork all the time.
It's like ingrained into my brain
Yes,
chemistry.
I know all of
So,
it.
the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, the
So
Breaking of the Fellowship.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah. So we're just gonna wait and see. September. How many months is that? From now.
February, September is the 9th month, and we're 2 months in.
So 7 more months.
7 more months.
7 more months until this beauty is dropped upon us.
Maybe
Of
when
course,
another trailer comes out, we'll like record our
Yeah.
actual reaction.
Our actual reaction. We will. We'll get our actual reaction and not.
Maybe we'll figure out how to actually do a trailer reaction
Oh my
video.
gosh. Yeah. Yeah, if you saw my last reaction video that I did, yeah, anyway. So yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes out. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna try and be as open-minded as possible, because I really want to give the show a chance. Obviously, if a well-done adaptation of Tolkien's works, I'd love that, because I love these stories. I love them to be more accessible to people. Why do you think I made the Silmarillion Bridge? And the Silmarillion Bridge is garbage. So if we could get actual good adaptations of Tolkien's works so more people can come to appreciate it and be more interested in reading the books, then that's a great thing. And I hope that is what comes out of this series, and it does not become a laughingstock or something that makes me rage. So yes. So we'll keep watching and waiting. Please share any thoughts that you guys have about this trailer, any of your predictions, ideas, information that we got wrong or it would be helpful to know. This is the first discussion style video I've done with my dearly beloved sister here. Yes, so you know when I do stuff with my dad, I call it biscuits and gravy. This is biscuits and jelly, peach jelly specifically.
I love peaches.
She loves peaches. She is a peach. Daily affirmation. So you'll see more discussion style videos from us in the future talking about The Lord of the Rings or talking about various other things which we are interested in. And these are relatively easy to make depending on how hard the editing is for this. We'll see. I'll let you know. But yeah, I think that is all we have for today. Thank you for joining us for whatever this was. And we'll see you whenever there's more stuff to talk about. So
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye guys.